Just like butterflies, we gather colors and patterns through every experience. This podcast is my collection of the most vibrant ones I have found. Their stories, their transformations. Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the Butterfly Collection. My first butterfly is Penchakpor, also Emma or Pua. Which do you prefer?
Yeah, about that. You can call me Pois.
Pua. So like French peas, I heard.
Yes, like the petit pois, just
Petit
like
Pua.
that.
That's very cute.
Yeah. Well, the story of my name is a bit complicated. I think like half of my friends here know me as Emma, and the other half know me as Pois or Panchapois. It was because I was born in Cambodia, and my mom gave me this name, Panchapois. And when I was 14, I went to Australia for 1 year. And then I was super insecure because I was a teenager and no one could pronounce my name. So I just got this nickname Emma. But now I realize that maybe it's much better just to use my name. And yeah, I still am fine with both, but I prefer my real name.
Okay, so you prefer Pua?
Yeah.
And you say Pua. When I first heard it, you told me it's like peas. I was like, oh, that's something you made up.
No.
But it's the actual name in Cambodia.
Yeah, I mean the pronunciation is what I made up so that people can say it right.
Okay,
But
how do you
it's
say
a
it
name.
perfectly,
No, it's
correctly?
Poa.
Pua. Okay.
It's just that it means color in Cambodia,
It means
not
color.
peas. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's very
So my
nice.
full name means 5 color diamonds.
5 colored diamonds.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I even have actually a very funny story.
Mhm.
When we actually met, I wasn't sure how to call you. It's like Penchakpor, but that was so long. And then I asked someone, and they were so sure. They knew you, and they're like, it's Bois, like air. No, it's Bois, like peas.
Yeah, exactly.
Or actually colors then.
Mhm.
Okay.
Colors in Khmer. So now you know a Khmer word.
No, no, wow. Okay, so you said you regret changing the name a bit. So would you prefer to not have Emma at all?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it. Um, I wouldn't say regret, but I do in a way, as in now I have to constantly explain to people like why I have Emma before and why I should use my name now, and like it's complicated. So I feel like if I were not to have Emma at all, it would be much easier just to explain how to pronounce it rather than like
Mm.
the story behind, oh, I changed this and that. But I still think Emma is a big part of me because it was the first time I was abroad alone, and it gave me the confidence to just approach people like, "Hi, my name is Emma. Nice to meet you." And yeah, so I think it's still a big part of me. I wouldn't say it's another personality or anything. It's more of a phase, I would say.
But that's nice too. So you have, yes, you have like distinct
Yeah,
pieces of your life. You have a different name, kind of.
probably.
That's nice. Why not?
Yeah.
Do you think it has something to do with your culture that you would want, like, there are a lot of Asian people coming here that would change the name so we can pronounce it.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Chinese or even Cambodian name is hard to pronounce.
Mhm.
So is that common?
I I would say growing up, it's quite common to like want a European name because it's cool. Kind
Okay.
of like you have a European name. Um, and I guess like I have a lot of friends who go abroad after high school because in Cambodia we don't have a lot of universities that maybe we're interested in. Like we have some universities which are really good, but maybe it's not something we're interested in. So a lot of people tend to go abroad. And I noticed like a lot of people, including me, have another name other than our mother tongue, like our mother, how do you say it? How my
Your
original
actual
name
original, yeah.
exactly. And yeah, a lot of other Asian countries as well, they have different names. I wouldn't say it's a cultural thing. It's more of uh, in a way it's cultural because
Mhm.
we don't I feel like we don't want to bother other people.
Okay.
So if someone cannot pronounce a name, personally I would feel like, oh, I'm putting them at an inconvenience to like put more effort to
It's not
pronounce
like,
my
oh, they're
name.
stupid, they can't pronounce it.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, they can't pronounce it, like that's their fault.
Mm.
It's more like I don't want you to just put more effort just to say my name. Like we can just have a common conversation,
Mhm.
like a friendly talk, and you don't have to worry about my name. Like I constantly worry if you're thinking, oh, am I pronouncing it correctly or something? So I don't want to cause that inconvenience to other people.
In
That's
a
my
way,
case.
that's
Yeah.
nice. Yes.
Yeah, so it's maybe that's the cultural aspect of it,
Mhm.
at least from what I think. But yeah, otherwise, I think it's just a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I see. Yeah, but you said you prefer for us to have it easier a bit
Yeah.
for you. Is that normal? Like, do you tend to take the step back, or how
Yeah,
does it?
that's true. I think in the way I grew up, I funny thing, I'm not a person who gets mad easily, and
Mhm.
it was due to like I just realized this year or last year that it was due to the fact that when I was growing up and hitting puberty, like at this age, I had a lot of emotions to show. I would get mad at like random stuff. I
Mhm.
also have two siblings, and an older brother
You
that
get mad very often. I
annoys
understand.
me. So yeah, I was mad a lot more than
Hmm.
I was when I was younger. And my mom would tell me like, did I raise you to be mad? Like, did I raise you to like show your eyebrows like that? Like,
Oh.
you cannot be mad. Even if you're mad, you should not show it. And at that
Hmm.
time, I got even more mad at her for telling me to do that because, like, of
Of course.
course, I'm
Yeah.
human. I can show my emotions,
Hmm.
but I didn't like. I did talk back to her, and that was how like the fight between me and her started a lot. But yeah, I kind of grew up holding back my negative emotions. Sadness is a bit easier. Like I can cry. It's not a problem. Like she never tells me like don't cry. It's not.
Okay.
It's a
So in your
weakness.
culture, crying like negative only in more madness, but sadness is okay. Can you
Yeah,
say it that way, or?
like we don't really show emotions in general.
Hmm.
Like it's another topic that I can get back to when it comes to like showing love or anything. But when I was growing up, like the negative emotions always was
Mhm.
about being mad about a situation, about a person, or something like
Okay.
that. And I was suggested not to show it because then I might cause another problem to the other person because
The
they
person
were
might feel bad. That's
exactly.
what, yeah, you told me. So it's connected with the name kind of a little,
Yeah,
because you don't want to put the other person in a bad situation,
yeah, yeah,
feel uncomfortable,
yeah.
or
I mean, I remember I wanted to like, text one of my best friends at the time, like, "Oh, why are you hanging out without me?" But I was like, wait, if I say that, it might cause another problem in the friendship because she might think I'm attacking her or something. So I rather like just delete it,
okay.
keep it to myself and see what happens in the friendship. So I mean, it didn't end well,
Oh, no.
but in a way, I learned from it. Also, like a lot of patience and
Was
things
that
like
here
that.
already, or was it still in
No, no, when
Cambodia?
I was really young,
Okay.
yeah, teenager
Okay.
and before. But yeah,
Wait, so you came here for EHL?
yes, just
So
EHL.
before EHL, you haven't been to Europe, or have you? What's
No,
the experience?
not at all. I traveled a bit to the US, a lot in Asia,
Hmm.
like Japan, China. It was mostly for high school because I did debating competitions with my school
Okay.
to represent the school and also Cambodia for the debate team. So there was when I traveled a lot and getting to know new people, new perspectives, and everything like that. And I didn't know if I wanted to do hospitality or more like international relations and like debating and stuff like that because I really enjoyed it. I love solving problems like social issues, but I loved baking and I was like, baking is hospitality. I'll choose
Big.
hospitality.
Perfect. Well, we're happy you're here. Yes,
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. So you already been to US a bit, but when you came here,
Yeah.
let's say you the flight comes, you fly,
Mm.
you land in Geneva, and then do you have like a cultural shock when you come here?
Mm. Culture shock.
Maybe in a similar way, you know how people here do tend to say emotions,
Yeah.
show emotions, or even confrontation. I
Mm.
think that was also a topic you said.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, anything
That's,
like that.
I would say, in a good way. It kind of changed me. Like comparing me now to the person like that landed in Geneva. I would say I'm more open now
Mm.
in a good way because growing up I never had to show emotions to like my friends, my family members, my parents especially. Like I don't think I said like I love you to my parents in the last, I don't know how long, like I say it by text.
By
I write
text.
like a whole like a paragraph expressing my love and everything.
Okay.
But when I went home, like just in December, which is a few months ago, um, I I have it in my mouth. I just cannot say it. Like they're just in front of me, and I just can't say
There's
it.
just like this barrier
Yeah,
you feel.
and I don't feel any less loved, or if I don't love them enough or anything. Like I feel super grateful and loved by them. It's
That's
just
nice to
hard.
hear
Yeah.
because I think if you hear something like that, you'd say like, "Oh, you're super cold. You have to feel bad," you know.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear that you still feel loved. Like
Yeah.
it's nice.
I actually thought about it a lot because coming here, I see like parents of my friends
Mhm.
or like in general, they just hug their kids, tell them they're proud of them, like they love them, just showing affection
Mhm.
and like words of affirmation. And then I question myself, like, do my parents not love me enough? Like, do they not miss me? Like, I'm far away and like, I mean, it's
I
fine.
see.
And then I realized like they just show love in a different way
Mhm.
because me questioning that didn't make me feel any like less loved. Because when I question, oh, do they love me less? I'm like, no, actually not. It's just they don't show it, but show it in different ways. Like maybe they would stay up to call with me because the time zones are quite
Of course.
different.
Oh, wow. Mhm.
Or like when I'm sick, they're always checking on me. Or yeah, I know. Like I started to understand that there are different ways to show love, and it's a cultural thing as well. So knowing that, I when I went home, like the last time I went home, I was really scared that I wouldn't feel at home anymore because I kind of grew up like my early 20s here, having new perspectives, new friends, and everything. So I'm like, okay, if I go back home, maybe it won't feel the same, especially not being like close in distance with my family. It might have like created a barrier or something, but it was the total opposite because when I went, my dad came and hugged me, and it was the first time like him saying, "I miss you so much. I love you. You're my daughter." I was like, "Dad,"
What? Oh,
and
you
like
said he said he's proud of you. Was that
yeah,
a
like at the
song?
airport, and I was like, he changed. I changed as well, but it was a really
Mhm.
nice moment. And then like throughout the week, because I was only there for 10 days, I just felt like we're closer than ever, even if
Oh, wow.
we've been apart for a whole year. I felt like now I can embrace this time with them. I didn't make any plans
Mhm.
at all. I was like, okay, I'll go with the flow, see my family, just spend time with them. I only slept in my own room for like 3 nights, and the rest I was like camping in my parents' room, my grandparents' room,
Oh, that's so nice.
and yeah,
Wow, so
just
you coming
bonding.
to Switzerland didn't change you only, it also changed your family?
Yeah, very much, I
Mhm.
would say. And it's in a good way, and I'm really happy.
Mhm. That's
And
nice.
I'm super grateful for my friends as well, because they're the ones who taught me to express feelings like this.
Your
I
friends here
know,
in Switzerland.
yeah, I know I can tell them anything and to be heard, and then not being like judged or anything. It makes me more comfortable to share, and it made me realize also to be the other person who listens so that other people can open up to me and feel comfortable in this space as well. So I do that to my parents. Like
Mhm.
if they have a problem, I'm like, yeah, tell me, and then they're like, okay, we didn't think you were old enough at that time, but yeah, this is the problem. I'm like, yeah, that's good. Like you can talk to me about it.
That's very good.
So yeah,
That's a very maturing experience, I'd say.
yeah, yeah. I still make very immature decisions,
Okay, it's
like
okay.
sleeping and eating snacks.
Okay, I
But
think we all have that. Don't worry.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and did you have that in Cambodia when here you said your friends were very open and told
Mm,
you, tell me what you think. If you would have your roommates in Cambodia,
hmm.
if there's a problem, like how does it look like?
Yeah, that's the thing. Confrontation is not my biggest forte, I would say. I'm still uncomfortable with it, especially when it's something that I feel like is bothering the other person. Again, it comes to this cultural
Okay.
aspect of if I ask someone of a favor and then like it takes me days to just ask the favor. First of
Mhm.
all, I'm like, oh, maybe it's inconvenient for them. They'll just have to make time for me. Maybe they have something in their schedule already. I don't want to be like this problem. But then I'm like, okay, I might as well try. And if not, we can reschedule something. So then I get to the stage of asking. And then after asking, I'm like, oh, maybe I should not have done that. Like, I don't know how the reaction is. And I
Mhm.
start overthinking. And when they actually do me the favor, I'm like really thanking them, showing my gratitude, and I feel like
Mhm.
it's never enough.
Yeah, okay.
It's like thank you, but yeah, thank you again. You know.
Oh,
Um,
but I think it's also nice. I mean, sometimes it's like, yes, of course, you don't have to be feel that bad to ask for a favor,
yeah,
but it's I think it's nice when you show a lot of gratitude because maybe
yeah,
we do lack it sometimes as well.
yeah. I mean, now I would say I'm better with confrontation. Um, this is like more a good way of showing gratitude, but also if we were to have a conflict, I'm super scared to like the thing with me is I have this dilemma in my mind that if I don't be the bigger person and like confront it, it's never going to happen. Especially with maybe friends from the same country, like same culture. Like if I were to have roommates in Cambodia, maybe I would not confront them for conflicts,
Mhm.
and they wouldn't do it any
Would
to
you be
me as
walking
well.
around and it would just be this thick air?
Probably, yeah,
Yeah,
probably,
okay.
and that really bothers me.
Mhm.
And I know in the back of my mind, like in my heart, that if I don't say something, it's gonna be worse. But to say it is super hard.
I
So,
understand though. Like here, I think it's big on confrontation, but it's
mhm,
still not an easy thing. I think.
yeah. So I mean, here, at least because my friends and I, like, we became really close.
Mm.
We say everything. We are more open. Maybe I'm sometimes more open than them because I'm like, I'll just tell you everything that's going on in my life, even if it's
Yeah.
super random.
Oh, that's kind of what friends are for, right?
Yeah, and then because of this, I know it's a safe place to say anything if we ever to have conflicts. I feel like we're at the stage of our friendship where our friendship is worth more than like a fight. So even if we were to have conflicts, in the end we know we're gonna work towards the
Friendship is
friendship.
worth more than a fight. That sounds very good.
So I think we all kind of agree that if we talk about something, both of us will be upset with each other. But in the end, we have already built something really nice and really special. So why give it up just for this like small thing that
Mhm.
we can
That's
work
nice.
out? So because of this mindset of like both sides, I think I'm really comfortable with my friendships and confrontations with them. But when it comes to like new friends or strangers, it's harder because you don't really know how they're going to react.
Yeah, you also don't know their background if
Yeah,
it's a thing for them or not. Or
exactly.
Mhm.
So in a way, I'm still working on it, but I would say it got better.
That's You were talking about being the bigger person. You
Yeah.
said quickly. Is that also a thing in the Asian culture?
Um, I think in Asian culture, we avoid conflicts and problems in general.
Okay.
And
So what does it mean being the bigger person if you say it in your context?
in my context, again, when it came to growing up, my mom is the one who teaches me a lot about like patience, and she's more open to me to talking about like these type
Mm.
of things than my dad. But my dad now took the chill pill and he's super chill and he's like, yeah, I love you. Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm like, what? And my mom's still like, you know, be the bigger person. But it's something I learned as well. Like, one of the quotes I remember from her is, you sometimes have to lose in order to win, which, in a context of maybe if we have a conflict, if I want to win in a way that to keep the friendship, I have to be the person to take the blame, or I should be the one like, okay, I'm sorry, let's move on.
So you win when you step back.
Yeah, in a
Okay.
way. Yeah. So if we're arguing about something that is maybe not that serious, like maybe me and my brother like fight about a toy or something unfair, and if we keep fighting, we're not going to
Mm-hmm.
get anywhere. So either it's resolved in a good way or it's resolved in a way that someone steps down.
Like I understand it in the context with siblings. I guess I was told that as well.
Hmm.
To like also, if you're a big older sister, you have to be. It's like just leave them,
Yeah.
just let them be. So then you have to be the bigger person.
Hmm.
But would it be the same in like a business context or when you're older in Cambodia as well? Would you win when you like when you
Yeah.
step back?
Yeah. I think, yeah, it kind of, in a way, if something is not worth fighting
Mm-hmm.
about, like if I were to have a contract with a company and everything is going well, and suddenly, I don't know, they treat me unfairly or something, in that sense, when I was younger, I would have done what I would have done would be just to shut up and like do the job if it doesn't get too bad, which I still think I would do. But now I feel like I would speak up to someone, like at least a colleague, like, oh, I don't think this is fair, but what can we do? Or like if it's really bad, then I feel like I would have more courage to step up. Whereas when I was younger, like I was taught that if it's not worth it, like if you think you can live, like have it with you and just live with it, then it's not worth it
You
to
shouldn't.
fight for.
Okay, that's interesting because I think here you should show confidence
Mm-hmm.
and should show that you can bring
Yeah.
your point forward. And
Yeah.
I don't say you should push too much, but you should
Mm-hmm.
like show that what you want,
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
But in a way, I find it positive in the way I used it, because I feel like I tend to think a lot before I make a decision, whether it be confrontation or making decisions in general.
Mhm.
So having this conscious, like in the back of my mind, that maybe it's not worth it to fight about, or maybe I'm just overthinking, or like maybe there's a better solution to solve this problem instead of just saying what I feel in the moment.
Mhm.
I think it kind of helped me navigate challenges as well. Because maybe if I have like some small conflict with a friend, I wouldn't directly jump and say, I'm feeling mad at you at the moment. But
Mhm.
I would take a step back and think, is it worth it to say that now? Or like maybe I can take a walk, chill, and then come back and talk about it in a
That's
more peaceful way. So now it's like automatically I would double think it or triple think it before expressing the emotions. So in a way, I think it's positive. And now being aware of this, how it impacted me, I think it also helps as well.
I hope you don't hear
So
that.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you have kind of a best of both worlds in a way. You
Yeah.
know the very like step back, be the bigger person way, but also know that you should voice whatever you want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm
you can
still,
think about it and like choose whatever you want, I guess. Or
yeah.
find the golden way, maybe.
The challenge is to find the balance,
Okay.
but it's good to have both sides, like both experiences as well. So in some situations, I would know more how to react,
Mhm.
but maybe in new situations, I'm like, okay, where do I go?
Okay,
This
which
way or that
side?
way? Yeah.
Okay.
So
But in
it's
a
it's
way that makes
nice.
you way more mature, I think, than other people who know I have to like show them what I want, like
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. But I also
Because
learn from
yeah.
those people.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I learned
exactly,
like,
exactly.
okay, in this situation, maybe it's better to stand up for myself, maybe in another way instead of just
Yes.
like slamming the door, or I don't know. But in a way, I feel like coming to Switzerland, since it's my first time in Europe. Also, I was 18 when I was here, so I was kind of still growing up and like
Mm.
learning about the different world
You
of
still try to make up your mind.
Switzerland. Yeah, like of who I am and everything. Felt like I was a sponge.
Mhm.
So everything that people did, I kind of absorbed, but in a way, I was happy and grateful to be self aware that I can absorb what I want. So maybe I meet someone new, and like one of my best friends, she's really chill. She's Swiss. She loves the mountain
Mm.
hiking, and as a person coming from Cambodia, I was mostly in school, just studying from 7 to 7, and like
Okay,
coming
from
home
seven
doing
to seven.
homework. Yeah, exactly. And even on the weekends, I have tutoring classes from 7 until like 6 p.m.
Wow.
So
Okay.
me and my friends never went out to like the cinema, very rarely, or like for a drink or something. And we have to schedule like dinners. We have to tell our parents where we're going, who we're going with. So it's
Mhm.
more strict in that way as well. And then I didn't really know how to have time for myself and relax. So when I met my one of my best friends here, she really taught me how to be independent in a way that I can have time for myself. It's not
Mhm.
selfish. um, I can take a walk, um, just free my mind, and
You kind of
it's
schedule
okay.
your own
Yeah,
free time.
yeah, it's okay to rest as well. Because I always thought like if I'm not doing something, I'm not being productive, and
I
it's
see.
bad.
So that's how it would be at
Yeah,
your in your house.
yeah,
How
yeah.
would your parents be? So they would have to know where you are all the time, and you would have to tell them, or
I would say my parents is more on the chill side of Asian
okay.
parents, which I'm so grateful for. I was allowed to have sleepovers, which is a big thing because
Hmm.
like most of my friends,
Usually you can.
yeah, like no sleepovers,
Mm.
and I'm always that friend who's like, um, if the strict parents friend knows that I'm gonna be there, they're gonna allow their kid to
Oh,
go. So I'm
good.
like, Yeah, I'm the chill,
You're
the
so the
chill
good
person.
kid.
So yeah, my parents are really chill. I grew up very academic focused, so I was achieving a lot of things, and at one point the pressure was internal as well. I feel like I have to keep achieving this to
Mm.
prove my worth, to make my parents proud. I know they're proud of me either way, but if I can try my best to achieve something, like why wouldn't I try? So I put a lot of pressure on myself that way, and yeah, I feel like in a way it shaped me to have like attention to detail and achieve higher things. But now I also want to take a step back and enjoy
Mhm.
everything else. Like for example, EHL grades are not the biggest thing. You just have so much stuff going on every
Yes.
day.
But you
Yeah.
said you found baking as your tool to relax. Is that true?
Yeah. Before midterms, I would churn out some cookies or something.
Yes, oh, I tasted some.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So at home, it would be school from 7 to 7, you said, and then just eat, homework, sleep, or?
Yeah. I mean, it also includes the traffic to get
Oh my, yes.
home. Like I think from school to home, it's around 20 minutes drive,
Mhm.
but it usually takes like an hour or an hour and a half
Do you
just
take
because
the
of the
bus,
traffic.
or?
No, there's no public transportation
Mhm.
in
Good.
Cambodia,
Mhm.
so we usually take the car. And when I was younger, would be me, my two siblings, and three cousins. So we're all like in this car, like squished together. But as we grow older, we moved out, so it was just me and my siblings, and then my grandmother or grandfather would come and pick us up with the tuk-tuk or like with the
With the
car.
tuk-tuk, really?
Yeah, but
I'll show a picture of a tuk-tuk.
yeah, yeah. We start school around 7:15, 7:30, and then
Mhm.
we end officially at 5. And if you want to take like sport classes, we have like table
Ah, okay.
tennis, basketball, swimming. It will be from 5 to 6, and then 6 you go home like with the traffic and everything. And sometimes you also have tutoring classes in the evening.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
until 7 or after? No.
until like when you get home. So from maybe 6:30 to 8:30 or
Oh, you'd
something.
have the tutoring classes at
Yeah,
home.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. So it's, you really like live for school.
yeah,
It's very
really.
important.
I remember at one point my parents enrolled me to a public speaking class because I
Mhm.
was shy as hell. Like I wouldn't talk to anyone. So they just signed me up. They're like, "Oh, by the way, after school today you're going to this new class." I'm like, "What?" And yeah, and I was the only like middle school person,
Mhm.
whereas the others were university students or someone even working
Oh,
because
wow.
they want to improve their like communication skills. And I was there like,
There. Oh,
"Hi."
no. Oh, well, but
Yeah.
that helped you. Well, that had to help you a lot because I know you did a TED Talk as well.
I did. It was on my fear of public speaking, and
Yes.
yeah, you can
That's.
check it out if you want to know my journey.
Uh,
But yeah, it did help me, and it kind of showed like
mhm.
maybe at that time I would not voluntarily sign up for something, but just to be put in it in a uncomfortable position, I knew I can grow from it. So even
Mhm.
now with challenges, the more it scares me, the more I know I have to go for it, and it's really
That's
annoying.
good. And I see that at EHL as well. Like, you see things like, oh, join this, join that, and you're like, you're
Yeah,
scared, but you're like, this is gonna
yeah.
help. Let's do
But
it.
it's quite annoying because when you feel scared, like at least for me, I'm like, oh no, that means I have to do it. And then
Yes,
it's
that's
like,
true.
oh no,
That's true. That's true.
not again. Yeah, it's
See
good.
that.
It's a good sign to know if
Okay,
I
so
should
if you're
go for it
scared,
or
it's a
not.
good sign to do the jump. Do
Yeah,
it.
just push yourself in or like let someone else sign up for you. And then you're like, oh, now I have to do it.
Like, sign me up for the marathon. Okay,
I
I
hope no
see.
one does that to me. I cannot run.
Not that okay. We'll do other public speaking things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And so you said your parents would push you a lot as well. And
Hmm.
so how is the vibe at home, or how are your parents? Maybe I don't know, or because maybe you've met parents here now, so
Hmm.
you can say more about the differences.
Yeah, my parents are really chill. I love them so much. I can't tell them that in person for some
We
reason,
heard,
but
yeah. Oh no.
but
Or maybe
yeah,
your dad now. You can.
yeah. My dad, I did tell him, but I don't think he processed it. he still,
Okay.
he still,
Another semester time, and then maybe.
yeah. But it feels homey and very nice to talk to
Mhm.
them. I know, like the thing is, they never call me unless I call them, which is a
Okay.
good thing because they're afraid that I'm in class or something. So it's also that other thing, like, oh, they're gonna bother me. So
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I'll call you whenever I'm free. I can also text. You can also text me if you want to talk, and then I can let you know if I'm free or not, and then we can call. But they wouldn't just call me randomly, because in case I'm in a meeting or
Mhm.
something, it wouldn't like
So
bother.
that's also the way, kind of, don't want to
Yeah,
disturb you.
same with my grandparents, and so I call them not as often as I want to. I would be honest, but every time
Yes.
I do, it's nice to just catch up. Or
Very good.
sometimes they're just eating dinner, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of miss the food at home.
Just sitting at the dinner
Yeah,
table.
so it's nice. And my friends' parents here, they're super nice and chill. I
Mhm.
actually spent last Christmas with one of my best friend's family,
Okay.
and oh my god, it's so nice to. I cried like tears of gratefulness and happiness, because I they've met me for the first time, and the grandmother just like hugged me and kissed me, and
Oh,
she's like, yeah, nice to meet you, I feel at home. And I'm like, oh, like I never experienced this at home,
okay.
which is not a bad thing, because
Yeah,
I
you
always
said
feel
it's
at
just a
home.
difference.
Yeah, it's
But
just a difference. And I was able to be more accepting of my own family's way of showing love, because here people show love through maybe physical touch,
Mhm.
words of affirmation, and it's really nice to feel both ways. And so I told like my friends as well, like, if you go home, if you go to Cambodia and my parents don't hug you, it's nothing against you. They don't even hug me. So
okay.
it's like
Yeah,
this
you said you
thing.
don't even hug with your friends in Cambodia, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So
You
yeah,
found that weird when you came back?
I I didn't find it weird. I just find it interesting
You're like,
that
ah, true.
it's yeah. It's like, oh yeah, it's fine. Like we still have a good time. It didn't change anything about our friendship, and it just made me more aware of maybe I should hug my grandparents more, because they're getting older, my parents as well. It takes time, but I know I'm capable of doing it, and I know maybe they want more like physical touch and affection.
Yeah, you
But
kind of learned it here, so you can kind of show it to
yeah,
them as well.
and maybe they find it weird, like even weirder for them to say it to me, like, can I have a hug? You know. So
Okay.
like I just give them a random hug or something, and they feel
You've
better.
done that already? Tried?
My dad, yes.
You did, okay.
My grandparents is also,
Uh-huh.
because they're super cute. My mom, it's a bit harder. I feel like I'm really close with her, um, in a way that I don't know. It's harder for me to show her affection, because my
Mhm.
dad, I love them both the same. So the relationship with him is more chill,
Mhm.
because he doesn't care if he tells me I love you and cringe. And he's at one time he was like, I'm so happy and proud that you're my daughter. And I started crying, and he was like, are you okay? How did that make you feel? Like, are you uncomfortable? I'm like, no, it's
Yeah,
fine.
you
Like,
said even multiple days after, right?
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So after that incident, like it's such a normal thing. um, he became more like showy and tells me like these type of things. So then I feel more
It was
comfortable
like
like
an
to say it to
icebreaker.
him. Yeah, it was an icebreaker. But since my mom never does that to
Mm.
me, I still love her the same as my dad. But it's just harder for me also
It's
to
different.
say it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think she's more, so she's more in that culture, more, um,
Mm, yeah, I think she. I can't blame her because I'm the same. But
okay.
she's just more how do you say it? She thinks more about what other people think of her,
Okay.
in a way, like, oh, I don't know.
But that's kind of part of
Yeah,
the how they teach you in
yeah,
Asia.
yeah,
You said
yeah,
it's a whole Asian thing, right?
yeah.
Okay, whole
It's
Asian
it's
culture.
quite hard to like having my parents say, like, even text me like, oh, like, good job, I'm proud of you, like, or a whole text. Like, it's not a common thing in Asia. Maybe it is,
Hmm.
but I don't know about it because we don't really talk about it. But to my knowledge, not a lot of parents do that to their kids. They show love in maybe um, bringing snacks to the kids' room
Mm.
when they're feeling sad,
So
or
that's instead of
yeah,
a touch or words of affirmation,
yeah,
it's
it's more
snacks.
like acts of service, but
Okay,
discreetly. Like maybe they would
discreetly.
like push something under the table or like under the door. Like
That's
it's
funny.
another form of
Hmm.
love. And I think my mom is more of that. Like she's more in that
Hmm.
way. So she would show love in like many other ways. but to say it for her is hard.
Mhm.
And for me, I thought I was getting better. I say I love you to my friends every day. I
Mhm.
don't see my friends for a day, and I send them like reels on Instagram saying long distance friendships is very hard. And they're like, we haven't seen you for like
For a
2 hours.
weekend. Oh, not even the weekend.
Exactly.
Okay, okay.
So like I thought I was getting better at
Mhm.
showing this and like just telling people that I love them. When it comes to my mom, it's really hard. I don't know why. Like,
Okay, is it
yeah,
her parents as well that are like that, or like how are your grandparents?
yeah. My grandparents, they're also like that. I would say now they're more chill
Mhm.
because they before I was really scared of my grandparents, especially my grandpa, because like if you get into trouble with the parents, they would like scold you, and especially me and my siblings, my brother especially,
Mhm.
we fought a lot because we're
Mhm.
just 1.5 years apart.
He's younger.
Older,
Older. Okay.
yeah. But yeah, we just fight about random
Yeah.
stuff.
Of course.
And with the parents, it's normal. Like we know we're gonna be in trouble. But if my grandparents say something, we're like, oh, we're actually in trouble.
Okay. Okay.
But as they got older, and as also we got older and started to move abroad and everything, they start to show more affection, like, oh, we miss you, like please
Mhm.
call us more,
Oh,
things
okay.
like that. So
So it helps as well.
we, yeah, it helps me also call them and like, oh, how are you doing? And then they're like eating and just telling me about random
Mhm.
stuff that's happening in their lives, and like, it's really nice to build this new bond as we're getting older. But my grandparents do not show a lot of like affection as well towards each other. They
Mhm.
love each other so much. I think they're so cute, like my grandparents. um like I asked my grandma how the story of how she met my grandfather, and she's like, yeah, I have like 40 men waiting for my hand in marriage, but I only had eyes for your grandpa. And I was like,
40.
wow,
Okay.
grandma, chill. Yeah.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, I only chose him because yip, I'm like, wow, nice, can I have this? And yeah, they,
We're at 40.
yeah. And then my grandma always knows that my grandpa loves her so much. They always show like little acts of service to each other. My grandpa's actually was a medical professor, and he also worked in the medical field. So every day they would take like their blood pressure tests, and instead of like my grandpa asking my grandma like, "Oh, how are you feeling today? Let's do the test." He's just like, "Give me your hand, or like, give me your arm," and then he puts like this device thing onto
Uh-huh.
her, and he's like, "Your blood pressure is this today," and then that's it. And I'm like, what? But like they care so much about each other.
Mhm.
It's just not the way they show it.
Okay.
So I like in that way I feel comforted knowing that they love each other. It's the same the way they love me, my parents as well. But even if they don't show it, it's not doesn't mean that they don't love us.
That's
So that was an interesting. I was like, "Give me your hand." I'm like, "What?" But
okay.
yeah, it's cool.
You were talking about how your grandma had 40 men waiting for her. How is it dating or anything like that in Cambodia? How will
Yeah.
your parents react, or maybe stricter parents? Because you said your parents
I
are chill.
mean, they were strict as well when we were younger. Of course, when you're in high school or even middle school, primary school, they're like, no dating.
Yeah.
Big, yeah, boys are weird, or it's not good. Like, just focus on your studies.
Mm. Yeah, since
And
school is so important, you can't
yeah,
really. Yeah, of
exactly.
course.
So I grew up that way as well, and I remember like when people had crushes on me, I would act so cold to them and like just hate me. Like I would, oh my god, I was brutal. I rejected people like really brutally, and
Wow.
I'm very sorry.
Maybe they're watching.
Don't take this personally. I was just in the phase, okay? But there's like a lot of memes about like Asian dating, as in when you're like born until maybe 18 or 20, it's like no dating. And then when you turn 21, they're like, where's your future husband?
Oh.
You know, it's like, and we're just like, what? It's like,
Like, well, how do you find them, right?
yeah, exactly. Like you didn't allow us to date yesterday, and now you're
Hmm.
asking where my
Okay, so
future husband
21
is.
is the time.
Or like, yeah, around this age, like we get married quite young.
Hmm.
My mom was married when she was 21,
Okay.
and she didn't even know my dad before. So
Are they pushing you now to find a husband?
I don't know how many boys my mom had like waiting for her, because my grandma apparently had
40.
40. um, but I asked her about like her marriage and how she felt, because I'm turning 21 this year, and I was like, I'm not getting
You're
married.
not very close to marrying.
I hope not, and I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, I asked her about it, and she was like, "Well, I knew at this age I would have to start thinking about it, but not
Mm.
thinking about who I will marry, but just to be able to accept that I will get married soon." So when my father came to my mother's house to ask for her hand in marriage, it was like a family thing. So both of my grandparents
Mm.
knew each other, so they approved of this marriage. And then my grandma just told my mom that, oh, by the way, you're gonna get married to this guy.
Okay.
We approve of him. He's nice. The family's good.
But
So
they found him for her, or just
I should
she
ask
met?
I should ask them more in detail about this story.
Okay.
I don't know how credible I am about this, because we also don't really talk about
Mm.
this. But I remember when I was younger, they told us about it in a funny way, as in like my dad just saw my mom and he's like, "Oh, I want to marry her." So
So
he
he
came
went
and
to your
asked. Yeah,
grandparents. Okay,
exactly.
so you would have to always go to your grandparents,
Yeah.
and that is still like a
Mm,
norm. Like,
yeah.
if you, well, if you would get a boyfriend, do you have a boyfriend?
No, I don't. I'm pretty single.
He's turning 21.
No, no rings for now.
um, so would you have to go ask your parents?
Um, I would
Like, how is the
say
modernized version? You know?
no. People date in secret first, and then when they start to like see it working, then they will hint it to their parents, like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out today with a friend," and then when you hear a friend, the parents would be like, "Boy or girl?" And you're like, "Oh, boy," and they're like, "A boy." So that's how it starts. You won't like just go and like, "Oh, I have a boyfriend now." It's really weird. And for me, I don't even know how I
So you
would
have
do
to
that.
hint it, and then they'll know, but they won't say they know.
No,
They will
it
know.
depends. Some parents are strict, so they're like, "What boy?" And
Mhm.
then some parents are like, "Oh, a boy." And then they like kind of spy in the background. I don't know.
Okay.
At least from the experience I have of people I know. For me, I don't have a boyfriend and I didn't have one. So I don't know how my parents would react.
Mm.
But my brother did, like in middle school, and it didn't end well. So I was like, good to know how mom would
It didn't
react to
end
this.
well when he told your mom, or
Yeah, yeah. He was 12
okay,
and
okay,
he
but that's
was,
another thing,
yeah,
right?
exactly. My mom's like, why you have a girlfriend when you're 12? And they had like a fight. And I was
Mm.
like, good, because I didn't like him at that time. Like we always fought. So I'm like, see,
It's
like
like the
you
better
deserve it.
sibling guy.
Yeah. But
Okay.
now I know that they're really open
Mhm.
to getting to know someone that I like. They trust me enough that if I introduce them to someone, they're like, okay, they must be a decent person. I wouldn't
Okay.
like introduce a
Yeah,
weird
they know
person.
now
And
that, yeah.
yeah. So in a way, I feel that I have the freedom to choose when, who, how I want to like meet a person or date someone. So I don't feel any pressure from them, and I would be really open to telling
Mhm.
them. So I think we're in a good space. But yeah, in my culture or in Asian culture, it's hard to show like to be open with your parents about it, because either they're not going to approve it or they're going to push marriage.
Oh
They're
wow.
like,
Okay, so you're like, you
okay,
have to know what you want
yeah,
before you
yeah,
say it.
that's true, that's true,
You
because
have to be
yeah,
like, okay, I want to marry him. I'll tell my parents. Otherwise, no.
yeah, yeah, you kind of have to feel the vibe a bit of your
Good.
parents
Okay.
as well. And I
In
know,
a way,
yeah,
yeah. In a way, it's good because it makes you consider the relationship and be in actual, like,
yeah,
true relationships you're sure of,
yeah.
right?
I know like some people who haven't met each other for a long time, and then they decide to tell their parents, and then the parents are really happy about their relationship. So they're like, but if you start to go out and like maybe other people start to see you go out, like relatives or whoever, it's better that they know that you're dating, so they're not gonna be sus of like, oh, you're just seeing different people or something.
Okay.
So they would rather have like a formal meeting of all the family members together, so not just the parents and grandparents, but like aunties, uncles, like
Just to date,
cousins. Yeah,
like officially date. You
yeah,
have to invite your whole family.
yeah.
Oh wow.
And so that they don't see you as a bad, not bad, but
Yeah.
it's like just going around and dating people.
Yes.
So you're serious. That's why you have to be serious
Okay.
before telling people. And which I think is both negative and positive,
Mm.
because negative meaning you kind of have to hide things before you tell them, or like you don't know how they will
And there's a lot
react.
of pressure. Maybe that can change the relationship as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. And yeah, as well, like if you already become official, like everyone knows, and then maybe you have problems and you're like, oh, but we cannot do anything about it
Really.
because everyone knows we're dating, we're happy.
Yeah, how would it
um
go if you then decide you don't want to be together? Because you're not married yet. It's
yeah.
just
I mean,
officially dating.
yeah, yeah, I guess it's fine. It's just that you would think more about it. You have the pressure to
Mhm.
feel like, oh, yeah, like people already know, so I shouldn't. Yeah, you put pressure on yourself not to make your relationship or you look bad. So that's that other pressure.
Mm.
But in a positive way, personally, I don't want to experience like having to be pressured to tell everyone I'm dating. I'm like, if I'm
Yeah.
dating, I just want to have fun. I tell my parents, they're chill with it. They know who I'm dating, and
Mhm.
it's nice to if like my
Yes.
boyfriend would have a good relationship with my parents.
Mhm.
But I feel like culturally, we don't really believe in divorce,
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
in like we can of course get divorced, but when you get into a relationship or a marriage, it's more like you have to work it out. For example, my parents, they got married when even if they didn't know each other well at all,
Mhm.
and I know they have like a lot of problems when I was growing up. Now they're like really in a good spot, but before, like I could feel maybe there's a lot of conflicts, points of views that might not be the same, but they could not consider divorce because it would look bad for the family. It's not going to be good for the kids. So they had to work it out. So in a way, I feel like having this mindset of trying to work everything out
Yes.
is good, because if both you and your partner have this mindset, you know that you're going to go through the challenges together. It's not like you're going to get into a relationship with the potential of breaking up.
Yeah, you're not kind of like trying something out. You already
Yeah,
know you're
yeah,
like you're gonna work it out.
yeah.
That's nice.
Like personally, I don't know where I stand. Like I'm more into the serious side. Like I don't believe in divorce side, but also if it's like really abusive or toxic, then of
Yeah.
course
And
like
if it
I
makes
would
no
have to.
sense, really.
Yeah, exactly. But I would really appreciate if like my partner would also have this mindset of um being able to work things out and like not be selfish from our actions, and just see if it works out, like just trying the best we can.
Hmm.
And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't. But at least not go into a relationship thinking, okay, if it doesn't work, we'll just break up and like
Mm. Okay,
meet
it's a bit
someone
too
else.
casual, a bit too like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Hmm.
but we'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot of divorces going on nowadays, I think here. So
Yeah,
it's
and
maybe a good viewpoint. Yeah.
I don't support normalizing divorce or like toxic relationships just to get into a relationship just for the fun of it, or like for the
To have a
label.
boyfriend, just to have a boyfriend,
Yeah,
kind of. Mm.
like it's not worth it for me.
Yes.
Like maybe other people have fun and whatever. Like for me, it's like it's my emotional investment as well. So yeah, I got heartbroken by an exam or something. Like I can be heartbroken by. I don't want to be
That would be too
heartbroken by
much.
mine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
but it's fine.
I see. Well, you know the checklist now, right?
I'm flexible as well.
Oh, okay, maybe for the end, what's your favorite food from Cambodia?
Oh,
Or okay, it doesn't have to be favorite. Something that comes to your mind. Something good. Good.
I would say seafood. I love seafood,
Seafood.
and we have the beach.
Oh, okay.
And the good thing is it's cheaper. It's not cheap to get seafood, but really cheaper compared to Switzerland.
Yeah,
So I
yeah, we
crave.
were. It's a bit far though.
Yeah, yeah, I crave seafood so much every day.
Oh.
But
Is
it's
there a
okay.
dish you make with fish with seafood?
There's this thing that I can eat like forever.
Hmm.
I mean, I love all seafoods, but this one dish, it's crabs, which is stir fried in a lot of herbs and aromatics like ginger, garlic, lemongrass. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. Um,
It's after a long school day. I'm very hungry.
and we have a special pepper. which is an appellation. Like here we have appellations for wines.
Mm-hmm.
In Cambodia we have an appellation for peppers. It's called Kampot pepper. I don't know if you heard it. And it's like really aromatic, spicy, and we stir fry the crab with like all these herbs and oh my god,
What do you eat it with?
with rice.
With rice.
Yeah,
Okay.
we eat rice 3 times a day: breakfast,
It's
lunch,
fact.
dinner. Yeah,
Never change. Okay.
yeah.
What do you eat it with for breakfast, for example?
Breakfast, I would say it's not common at all to have sweet breakfast. Like here you have pancakes and everything.
Yeah.
There, I didn't grow up eating sweet breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not cereal or something, but it's not
Would
Cambodian.
You have cereal or no?
Yeah, we have it in the
Yeah, because
supermarkets.
now it's yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like a traditional breakfast. A traditional breakfast would be porridge, like rice with a really warm soup, or
porridge is in milk, rice?
no,
Or actual
just
porridge?
rice. I think it's called congee.
You
I call
have
it
to know.
porridge. My roommate actually says it's not porridge.
What is it? Is it made out of?
It's like when you cook rice but with extra water, so it's
So it's more like milk rice, but with water. Not
yeah,
with milk.
yeah. It's like
Yeah, because if you say porridge for us, it's like wheat with milk.
yeah, yeah. It's like that, but with rice and water.
Oatmeal, but with rice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think it's called congee, and you eat that with salty fish or soy sauce, eggs, pickled vegetables as well. Like a lot of warm soups, and we also have like meats and meat
Also,
dishes as
even
well.
for breakfast. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very healthy actually.
Yeah, it gives you
Vegetables and-
energy for the day.
Okay. Yeah, whereas if you
And
hear, I don't know, pain chocolat, then you
yeah,
want another
you
one
have
in
a
an
food
hour.
coma. Yeah, like sugar crush as well.
Okay.
So it's nice, and yeah, I I actually miss having like rice every day because
Mhm.
actually I kind of feel it that when I don't have rice, I just feel like super tired. Even if I eat
Okay.
so much stuff, and I'm like, what? Why? And I just crave rice, and if I just eat a little bit of rice, I'm like, oh, I'm
Boom. Boosting.
with some energy.
Do you think it's so that healthy? Because I think here, I'm like, oh, carbs. Like, it's for us not a big deal. Like,
Yeah, but we don't eat a lot of bread
yeah,
and
okay. Bread is
pasta.
Yes.
Like there's also carbs. We don't eat a lot of that. It's
Okay.
just plain
Rice.
rice and like food, which is meat, vegetables. So we have the proteins and
It's very
vegetables and
balanced.
everything.
Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I would say so. And rice, I feel like if you grow up with it, at least for me, I got used to the level of starch.
Okay.
I'm not a scientist, so I don't know how it works, but like, I think I got used to the level of the starch in the rice. So even if I take more, like even if I eat more than usual, it wouldn't give me much of a carbs imbalance, I would say, because I got used to it.
Interesting.
And maybe pasta and bread like would
more.
affect me more, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there then like how do you eat here then? If you're so much used to rice, does it bother you a lot, or do you just
No,
eat the pain chocolat
actually,
or the bread with butter for the morning?
I actually don't butter my bread until like super
I love
recently.
butter.
Yeah, yeah, it's an attack to French people as well.
Yeah, or like I'm from Czech
European.
Republic,
Mhm.
and butter. Oh, butter's a big thing. You're French, maybe more olive oil. I don't know, maybe in
True,
the south.
true.
But we are big on butter.
That's yeah. I mean, it's good because if we have a meal together, I can give you all the butter you need,
That's good.
and I don't need the butter, so you can have extra butter.
If we go to BDS, I'll eat all.
Yeah, like recently I put like a really thin layer,
Okay.
so I'm getting more European and Swiss, I would say.
Okay. Interesting.
But
Interesting.
I actually don't mind food here. I would not be super satisfied with the taste compared to like if I were to have something
Yeah.
from home. It's like super satisfying.
I think if you talk to anyone from
Yeah.
Asia, they will say that
Yeah.
spice. There's
Yeah.
no spice here.
But I am a foodie, so I can eat anything, and I'm so happy I don't have any allergies.
Oh yes.
Also with milk,
That's
I
amazing.
love dairy.
Oh, okay. That's
So thank you God for not giving me any food. How do you say this? Food restrictions,
intolerances.
yeah, intolerances.
Exactly.
So I can enjoy anything I want, and we always have a bag of rice at home because my roommate also loves rice.
You have a rice cooker?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Now I have two, and I have a really small one. I made fondue in it as well.
fondue in the
during
rice
my
cooker.
internship. Yeah. So Swiss Asian now.
Yeah, you're really the best of both worlds. Yes,
I'm happy I can. Yeah, I feel at home at both here and at home. So
that's amazing. I
happy.
think we can end on that. That it's already
Mhm.
you're the best of both worlds. You have a bit of that culture, and both together, you you learn from it, and
Yeah.
that's how you make your decisions,
Yeah.
even food decisions.
Yeah. That's the most
Cook
important
fondue in
one.
the food in the rice cooker.
Actually, disregard everything I said. Food is the most
Food is
important
the
one.
most important. Amazing. Thank you so much, and
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for listening.